Krishna, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Thank you very much, devotees, for inviting me for this very special festival. I wish I could be there, being part of this festival, but since currently I'm in Nepal and traveling to various places, so that's why I could not join personally this particular festival. This wonderful festival, glorious festival of the glorification of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj on the most auspicious occasion of the Vyas Puja of our beloved Guru Maharaj Ji, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj Ji. So thank you very much for giving me a chance to glorify Maharaj. So through this video, I'm just offering some words of glorification at the lotus feet of a Paramahamsa Vaishnav Thakur. Yes, a Mahabhagat Vaishnav, a Swarup Siddha Vaishnav, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Namo Vishwapadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami iti namine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj ki Jai. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj Vyas Puja Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. So I'm eternally grateful to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj that he came in my life as one of my foremost Shiksha Gurus after Srila Prabhupada, who has really inspired me so much in Bhakti. I would say that the way he speaks Krishna Katha is really amazing. Like there is a definition of eloquent speaking. Essential truths spoken precisely is true eloquency. And His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj is a super excellent example of true eloquency, spiritual eloquency. Maharaj speaks essential truths so precisely, oh my God. And because they are coming from his heart deep realizations. And that's why you see when Maharaj is explaining spiritual concepts, so he has his heart like this, because he is speaking from here. So when somebody speaks from intellect, it lands up in intellect. Somebody speaks from the tongue, then it lands up in the ears. But when somebody speaks from the heart, then it lands up in the... And because His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he speaks from the heart. And that's why it lands up in the heart. And in this way, Maharaj is transforming so many lives. Yes, Maharaj, when he speaks about Krishna Katha, he makes Krishna Katha appear before your eyes in your consciousness. Especially when he speaks about Gaur Katha. Wow. His Gaur Leela lectures I have listened maybe 4 or 5 times, because Maharaj has that potency. When he starts speaking about Gaur Leela, he takes you into the Gaur Leela, and then you can see the various characters speaking, interacting, expressing themselves. You are in that 3D world, yes. So Maharaj's purity is so immense that he can make any conditioned soul like myself enter into Gaur Leela. And then that 1.5 hour lecture or 2 hour lecture or 3 hour lecture, it passes like this. He's so expert in Krishna Katha, in Gaur Katha, in Srila Prabhupada. So that's so beautiful actually. That comes from his own purity and his own love for Krishna Katha. And because Maharaj has such deep love for Krishna Katha, and that's why we see that his disciples are also very scholarly. So anywhere when we see a very scholarly devotee, we ask, are you Radhanath Maharaj's disciple? Because that's the kind of branding we have of Maharaj. Why? Because Maharaj is so daksham in Krishna Katha, especially when it comes to explaining Tattva, Siddhanta, in a very contemporary way as well as in ancient way. Maharaj is so expert and following in his footsteps, following with the same rasa, with same mood. His disciples also, when they glorify the Supreme Lord in such a wonderful way, so many Tattvas and Siddhantas so explicitly, with such clarity come out from the mouth of Maharaj, and following in his footsteps also from his disciples. So Maharaj has infused that quality in his disciples. So although we are doing so much of mass preaching, but class preaching is also required. So Maharaj is very expert in doing especially class preaching, although Maharaj has done abundant amount of mass preaching also. Like during his early days, Maharaj used to go to colleges, there he would teach cooking, because Maharaj is very expert in cooking. So through these cooking classes, he would very expertly tell Krishna consciousness, the subtle, wonderful concepts of Krishna consciousness, would make so many students come to the lotus feet of Krishna, come to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, by his expert preaching. So Maharaj has done that urban preaching, city preaching, and traditional kind of preaching, all kinds of preaching Maharaj has done. So that means Maharaj is very effective in terms of mass preaching as well as class preaching. So that means those who have taken to bhakti, now they want to nourish themselves on the path of bhakti. So then Maharaj explains the Siddhanta in such a wonderful way. The deep esoteric truths, the fine details of those esoteric truths, Maharaj explains them so nicely. And Maharaj is so humble, oh my God. Because Maharaj carries that humility, and that's why we see that he has got many multi-talented devotees, disciples, but they are also very humble. I remember recently I was in Ujjain, so His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj also came there. And I paid my obeisances to Maharaj, and I thought, I am such an insignificant fellow. I can just offer my obeisance from distance. But Maharaj came near me, and then I also stood up, and then Maharaj embraced me. He said, Amogha Leela Prabhu. Oh my God, Maharaj took my name. And then Amogha Leela Prabhu, thank you for your wonderful preaching. And then Maharaj expressed his humility. And then Maharaj said, please bless me that I may also preach like you. So I said, Maharaj, you are my father. I am your small, insignificant son. I just copy paste what you say, Maharaj. So that's why, because of your blessings, I am able to preach something, Maharaj. So please always keep me in your shelter. Always keep me in your blessings. Let me always nourish my bhakti through your words. So Maharaj smiled. He has got such a bright, brilliant smile. And then Maharaj hugged me again. So that was second hug. So Maharaj is so personal. And, he knows me by name. That was a big thing for me. That Srila Radhanath Maharaj knows me by name. And when I was in Vada, there also Maharaj said, Amog Leela, do you like this Govardhan Eco Village? I said, Maharaj, this is Golok Vrindavan. What else I can say? Maharaj said, well, we have made this Golok Vrindavan for you. Said Maharaj, please Maharaj, you will melt me with your humility. So Maharaj is very sweet when it comes to personal exchanges. So this humbleness is so evident in Maharaj that we see most of the photographs of Maharaj. Maharaj is like this only. Yes. Whether a bureaucrat is there, a film actor is there, a devotee is there, a junior devotee, a senior devotee, a sannyasi, he is like this only. Yes. And that's natural posture for Maharaj. Why this natural posture? Because inside is full of humbleness. So that humbleness is in each and every speck of Maharaj's existence. Wow. So that is Maharaj's humbleness is awesome. In terms of his desperation for Krishna. If we read the book Journey Home, in Journey Home, throughout the journey, one thing is common, his desperation to see Krishna, to meet the Supreme Lord. And his desperation led to so much of traveling and then hitchhiking from one country to another place and then another place, and finally reaching India on the borders. He was stopped and there he practically begged. He said, please allow me to enter your country. I've come here to know the truth, your culture. Please allow me. And over there, the Sardarji who was there. So earlier the lady who was sitting, she was rejecting. But again he tried. Hope against hope. And finally he was there inside. So although so many adventurous things happened, some bitter, some pleasant, some unpleasant, but yes, one thing was common, that every time Maharaj was expressing his desperation to be self-realized. So in my opinion, Maharaj is already realized, because how can somebody be so desperate for the Lord? Right from very beginning. So he's some special soul. He's some personal associate of Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for sure. Maharaj just writes a foreword of any book. That book becomes like a bestseller. Oh, Maharaj has written foreword. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And Maharaj has made such a beautiful community in ISKCON Chowpatty, Shri Radha Gopinath Temple. There is so much to learn from this community. So Maharaj, from his own realizations, from his own learnings, from his own purity, from his own bhakti, started this ISKCON Chowpatty, Shri Radha Gopinath Temple from very small place. And then he started growing it. So externally speaking, ISKCON Chowpatty Radha Gopinath Temple, externally doesn't look like in any particular shape. Usually we have this kind of shape, or rectangular shape, or cuboidal shape, or what kind of shape, whatever shape. But Radha Gopinath Temple is like this, but there is so much substance that this entire shape is full of rasa. So just like Krishna is Tribhang Lalitam, so this entire temple Radha Gopinath is also like this, having threefold bending form. But it is full of mercy of Shri Radha Gopinath. But who has brought this mercy? His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj has brought this mercy. And now Maharaj is preaching in the West. Yes, preaching in the West is so challenging. To penetrate into the hearts which are covered by desires to enjoy the senses is such a difficult task. But Maharaj can penetrate all those layers and reach the heart. And his preaching is so very successful. Yes, so that's why people may be doubtful whether we should do that or this. We have to customize it like this or that. Well, Maharaj is so penetrating in his preaching that he is making so many devotees in the West. He knows that how to preach, how to connect, how to convey, how to convince. Maharaj knows this. So in terms of his preaching, effectiveness is awesome. In following Vaishnava etiquettes, Maharaj is awesome. The way he deals with everyone, amazing. And he makes himself available for the devotees as much as possible. Yes. So he has his time. When somebody asks for initiation, he says, well, first my time is for Srila Prabhupada, and then for my god brothers and god sisters, and then for the disciples of my god brothers, and then maybe time for you. So that's why Maharaj is detached. He's Virakta. He's detached. Solid, unshakable brahmachari. An amazing sannyasi. Very, very learned. I remember once I got the chance to serve Maharaj because somehow Maharaj's books got left behind in Chowpatty. So one devotee said, Amog Leela, do you have this Gopal Champu and Anandavan Champu, because Maharaj is going to speak from these books. I said, please take the books. So I could offer this seva for Maharaj. So Maharaj prepared lectures from these books, and I was just touching those books again and again to my head. Then Maharaj touched these books. They are already touched by Shri Jiva Goswami or Kavi Karnapur, but now Maharaj has touched them. Maharaj has read from these books and he has given lectures. Wow. So that ways I got some chance to serve Maharaj. But yes, I see that I'm very, very fortunate to be in touch with Maharaj. Whenever I go to Mumbai, so everything in Mumbai reminds me of Srila Radhanath Maharaj. When I look at a mall, I say, well, this mall is so fortunate because this mall is in Mumbai. And Mumbai is a place where Radhanath Maharaj walks, where Radhanath Maharaj talks, where Radhanath Maharaj breathes. When I look even at Kuli on the station, railway station, it reminds me of Radhanath Maharaj. That this Kuli is a Kuli in Mumbai. And Mumbai is a place where Radhanath Maharaj walks, where Radhanath Maharaj talks, where Radhanath Maharaj breathes. So each and everything, whether Vishal Mega Mart or whatever is there, I see in Mumbai, it reminds me of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So I pay my millions of obeisances to the lotus feet of Maharaj Shri. Last time we glorified Maharaj, we covered entire Journey Home, which is Nectarian autobiography by Maharashi. So that's I think 4.5 hours of lecture. So I could cover most of the aspects of the book. But yes, I strongly recommend that this book should be read by all the devotees. It is very inspirational. And of course, Journey Within, which is a sequel of this book, should also be read by the devotees. And we pray at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Gopinath Ji. May Radha Gopinath Ji bless Radhana Swami Maharaj with good health. His physical health remains sound. So being in his association, our spiritual health would be sound. So millions and millions and zillions of obeisances at his most glorious lotus feet. Vancha kalpataruscha kripa sindhu beva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj Ji ki jai. Hare Krishna.